Joy Behar ripped heterosexual men for supporting tackle football. How's it going out there, everyone? This is W.F.S, your doctor, and today I want to talk to you about an article coming from the New York Post regarding Joy Behar and her profiling heterosexual men for the love of football and blaming tackle football and kids wanting to play the game on heterosexual men. This is just pure stupidity at the highest level. You know, you're taking a tragedy like what happened on that field last week and turning it into some kind of racist, profiling, sexual, ridiculous nonsense. I'm sorry, maybe I am misconstruing what she's saying here, but for me, it seems like every time she opens her mouth, she's got to throw in a conservative, Republican, whatever you want to call it. She's always got a profile whenever she starts talking. And I honestly think that this nonsense needs to stop. The View co-host Joy Behar hit conservatives and heterosexual men on Wednesday for their support of tackle football. Do you believe this? As if it's heterosexual men only who support this. 45% of Americans think that tackle football is appropriate. Heterosexual men voted the most support for kids doing football. And conservatives were more likely to support youth tackle football. Just saying, Behar said with disdain. The hosts were discussing the Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin, who collapsed during a game Monday night and has suffered cardiac arrest, and renewed calls for the NFL to make safety a top priority. Well, before we continue with that, I am very happy to report that Damar is awake. At least the last report I heard today, he was awake and was asking questions. Thank God for that. I am very happy that his doctors really were taking care of him and he is hopefully on the mends. But now, let's get back to this. Co-host Sunny Hostin told a story about her son who suffered from hamstring injury while playing football. First of all, kids love contact sports, and you can blame it all you want on heterosexual men and their love for full contact football. But you know, there are other ways for a person to get hurt out there. Let's be very clear about this. You can get hurt driving in your car. You can get hurt walking down the street. You can just get hurt in your own house. Hey, Joy, let's not forget that a while back, less than 10 months ago, while you were on your show, your chair suddenly fell backwards and you fell to the floor. Does that mean we need to start questioning whether chairs are safe? Should you women on The View start getting a nice little bar stand to stand behind? Maybe you need to start standing throughout your whole show, because chairs can hurt you and maybe even cripple you, and depending on the impact, it may even do worse. Co-host Sarah Haynes said that the injury would turn people away from football, won't turn people away from football, because it's a huge part of tradition. I grew up and football was just the norm. My parents went to the games long after we were even in high school, because the whole town did. I loved Friday Night Lights, etc., etc. What it might change is people that have kids coming up, because like me, you even won't have them know all the damage that could have been done now. Excuse me, let me redo that. You even won't know, or even won't have, none of all that damage that could be done now, Haynes said. Haynes expressed concern over CTE, chronic traumatic epithemia, excuse me if I didn't pronounce that right, and said she wouldn't let her kids fall in love with football. CTE is a neurological degenerative disease linked to repeated head trauma that has befallen numerous football players. Let's be very clear about a couple of things. These injuries do need to be addressed by the NFL. More protection needs to obviously happen, but at the same time, let's not forget the fact that all the people involved with the games, from the football players to the coach to the people in the press box, everyone involved with these games knows the risk involved with the game. The football players, it's their passion. It's what they decided to do with their lives. And let's not forget the other thing involved. Understanding that this is such a chance of getting hurt, paralyzed, crippled, even, yes, the other thing, death. That is why they get these enormous salaries, because of the risk involved with the game they love. I think a lot of mothers certainly feel that way and have felt that way for a long time. But the way my son describes it is, it's a family, it's a bonding experience that he had never had before, Hostin added. Behar suggested that people play golf or tennis instead. Excuse me, golf can be a dangerous sport too, you know. I mean, all it takes is hitting that ball and someone on the other side of the golf course, bam, in their head comes that golf ball, or other places as well. Look, the bottom line is this. Life can be dangerous. Every moment, everything you do, say, you can upset someone and they can attack you. The cast of The View lives in one of the most violent, crime-ridden cities in the United States as of right now. It's just ridiculous for them to be carrying on like this. I understand the issue involved when it comes to youth and tackle football. I understand that. But you're not going to stop these kids from doing that. Even if they get away from their parents, their friends are going to find a field somewhere and play the game. It's instinct. It's just what we do. Now, as for Joy herself, my problem is not with the topic they were discussing. It is what she threw into it. She profiled heterosexual men. This is absurd. How many women do you see in the stands? And what does your sexuality have to do with enjoying a game? I know many women out there who have encouraged their kids to get involved with football because they were raised on it and it's a passion of theirs. So tell me what you think about this. Do you think that Joy was way out of line? I mean, again, I understand the topic, and it's a good topic to have. It's an important conversation. Child safety is very important, especially when it comes to contact sports. I get that. But the argument that she made and the way she presented it, do you think she was right? I don't know about you, but I'm starting to question her integrity. I really am, because it just seems any chance she gets, she takes a shot at politics, at people on the other side of the aisle, and throws it into any part of the conversation. And I just think this woman is wrong. And an apology is not the answer. Whoopi got suspended for anti-Semitic remarks. Why is she not going to get suspended? This is ridiculous. And these people come on these shows, they need to have more responsibility and more thought as to what they say. Just because your audience leans a certain way should not give you the right to attack the character of an entire group of people that disagree with your views. My friends, again, I want to hear from you. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments on this subject. I'm W.F.S, your doctor, and until the next time, my friends, God bless.